Chugga chugga. Chugga chugga.
It's time to get on board the
Chugga
Rhema
chugga.
gospel train with the hardest working gospel jock in South Texas, Elder James Lockhart. Get on board. Spreading the gospel around the world. Get on board. If you want to ride this train, get on board.
It don't take no ticket to ride. Get on board.
Rain, 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 rain in abundance.
Today, my special guest on Rhema Gospel Express is Toin Adekale. Stay tuned. Coming up next, right here on Rhema Gospel Express.
This vision from you overwhelming me, taking over me, alright. Rain in abundance. Your dream seems like a fantasy, or is it all just in your mind?
Welcome once again to Rhema Gospel Express, all San Antonio global listeners. Woo! We have a young lady who is, I always say we have a young lady who is anointed, or we have a young man who is anointed. We have a lady today that has a story to tell, and most of all, she's anointed. Now, I don't want to mess this up. Pronounce your name, full name.
You know what? I love it when someone tries.
Toyin.
Uh-huh.
Okay. How you doing?
You don't want to say Adekale. All right, I'll let you off. It's Toin Adekale.
Toin Adekale.
There you go.
All right. And you were born in London?
That's correct.
Born in London. And share it with us. Share it with us, because your father was from Nigeria.
That's correct.
And your mother was from?
Sierra Leone.
Okay, where is that?
So Sierra Leone is on the west coast of Africa. If you've seen the movie Blood Diamonds,
Mm-hmm.
right,
Okay.
that's based in my country. That's a true story. So our country is considered, the capital is Freetown, and it's where a lot of the slaves were freed. And it's also the land of the diamonds. So a lot of America's diamonds, unfortunately, do come from Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone. I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay. And your father, again, is from that. How did they come together?
So my father was a teacher, and he was teaching in Sierra Leone at a famous college there, university called Forabe College. And he met my mother in Sierra Leone. I could say I was conceived in Africa, but born in London. They came to they came to London in the early 60s, when a lot of West Africans and Caribbeans migrated to the UK. So I'm actually a first generation Brit, black British, categorized Afro-Caribbean, but it's the Caribbean and African combination.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, you began singing
Mm-hmm.
at an early age. How did you start singing at, what was it,
15
15?
years old.
Okay.
Mhm.
And how did you start singing at 15? Because I know a lot of, I was even trying to sing at 15 years old, but you stepped out on the stage.
I did, and I got to say, the way that I did it is not how I would advise anybody else. But I was hanging out with my school friends. I can remember it very clearly. On a Wednesday, I was singing a song. I can't remember the lady's name. It's an old soul classic, Hello Stranger. And they barely had a full drum kit. It was pots and pans and cheers. And we were managed by a very famous sound man, a Jamaican sound man called Fat Man. And on the Wednesday, we had rehearsals. On the Friday, we had our first show. But being of West African parentage, education is paramount. So I wasn't allowed to have singing. It's like, no, you will learn your books first, you will study.
Wow.
And music is going to be a hobby, but not now. After doing my first show and the reception that I got, I knew then that I wanted to do it. So I didn't tell my parents. I snuck out to do that show. And the second and the third. But I had a taste. I knew that I was supposed to be being a part of this. And unfortunately, I made the foolish decision to run away from home, to stick with my career, and had to do a lot of growing up during that time. But yes, it was very early.
Okay. But today, you're living your dream?
I am. And some may think I lived my dream. And so what am I pursuing now? When I started and I had that taste, it was for fame and fortune. Like most people are looking for fame and fortune. I want to travel the world. Well, I got to travel the world. I got to work with some of the names that I looked up to as a child growing up. I got to share the stages with names that I dreamt about. And at that time in my career, if you'd asked me about my success, and there were many successful moments, very great highlights, I would have said to you, it was my hard work. I did this, I did that. And to all and sundry, it may have been so. But since God has put his hand on me, I have to be honest with you, he revealed to me really that in all that I had achieved, I'd never once given him credit. And so today it is a different plane. It's a more exciting journey because I now understand the power of my pen and touching lives. Whereas they cried with me back in the day, those sad love songs, now I can impart something and encourage and inspire, or let people know that even your heartbreak, we can talk about that. Let's not hide it, but there's a solution.
But I must ask, because a lot of times in this day and time, or even yesterday's in time, the downfalls that we have are those rocky mountains that we cross. How did you encourage yourself?
Wow, that's a very good question. So are you talking about my life or as an entertainer?
From your you ran away from home, and so you never got raped.
Well, actually, that's not true.
Oh, okay.
And that's okay. Today, I'm not a victim of my past. I'm a victor of my past. So yes, I made some naive. I mean, it's 15. What do you know? So I had the blessings of a hit. I had the blessings and the burden. So I thought they were blessings. But when you've got more money than sense, trust me, the things that you thought you wanted, you realize is not what you needed. And so, yeah, I did fall into diverse situations. And I was walking in a cloud for the longest time because I didn't have any guidance. Everything I knew, I sought. I wanted to know more about the industry. I tried to understand life, relationships. And I think a lot of my generation, they came out in our songs. So the broken-hearted love songs were real. And I think they were hits because people could relate. We were all going through that experience. What is so gracious about my relationship with God today is that I realized he was pursuing me. I was running. I didn't even know he was walking beside me. I didn't even understand those other footprints. So somehow I was guided. My dad, may his soul rest in peace, he always used to say to me, Toin, you ain't show business. You don't drink, you don't smoke. No, Dad, I don't drink, I don't smoke. For 5 consecutive years, my dad would ask me the same question. Toin, you ain't show business. You don't drink, you don't smoke. So I realized that God had his hand on me long before I'd invited him to do so, because I'd seen drugs, I'd seen drunks, I've seen people's careers take such a spiraling roller coaster. I've lost friends in the industry to drugs and to diverse situations. So I can honestly say that he put his hand on me, and once I started to build that relationship, trust me, I'm reaching up my hands in prayer every day, even now, not just saying help me, but today I'm saying thank you, thank you, thank you. I have a dear person that always says to me, God protects babies and fools, and that has proven to be true. For
Now,
sure.
your singing career is a success, and you've written some books.
Hmm.
Share with us about how you came to write books.
Okay. So my first book was about 11 years ago, called I Do, Do You. I actually wasn't planning to write a book. It didn't start off as me writing a book. I was actually writing a storyboard for a music video for a song of the same title.
Mhm.
And as it progressed, it came in, I started to write, but I couldn't stop. I was always a story writer in school. My classmates used to really love my stories. And this first book was actually inspirational, motivational stories. But I realized that God was also guiding my hand, because though the stories were fictional, those characters actually manifested in my life. They were like, wow, that's my story. And today, I have 5 books out. I'm in the middle of my 6th and 7th book. So the one that you see in the background behind me is called Money Loves Me, and it's a children's book, but my series is called A Children's Book for Adults, because we're not past learning. And Money Loves Me is about our miscommunication and our poor relationship with money because of the things that our parents, grandparents have said. I mean, how often have you heard growing up, I can't afford it, or money doesn't grow on trees, or I'm broke? So it's really understandable that some of our generation have come to a point in life where we don't actually have the best relationship with money. So I wanted children to learn and understand and have a better relationship. And that's what this storybook is about.
Okay, awesome, awesome. You are a woman on the move. Now, now we have a few more minutes.
Hmm.
What is it? Now, you are pregnant with purpose.
Hmm.
What is it that God has given to you that is important for you to share to the community?
Coming in under the radar. So where I've been, high places, the low places have gone. I've performed at palaces, the Kremlin. I've performed for presidents, prime ministers, kings and queens, and understanding now the power of my pen. So when I write today, whether it's in my books or in my songs, I want to impart hope, questioning, a mind to question, to understand God's plan in your life, that this isn't about religion. I'm not here to force religion down anybody's throat, but to encourage relationship, because my relationship is what's taken me where I am today. And so anything that you hear me sing has to touch a life. If it doesn't deposit anything in anybody's life, then there's no point in me doing it anymore.
Awesome, awesome. Now, reigning abundantly. Share with us about.
Hmm.
That's one of your songs that you wrote. How did you
That's
come up?
correct. Rain in Abundance, the H&H mix, is a song for, it started off with my vision as creative. Sometimes you have an idea, like maybe yourself, you may have wanted to be a DJ a long time ago, and someone said, well, or you might have said to yourself, I'm working a 9 to 5. How do I go about this? I don't know how. And you're doing everything but this thing, this burning desire in you. And it's really to encourage people, creatives, or if it's a business that they want to start, or even a book that they want to write, that it may not be just a good idea, it might be a God idea. And if it's still burning in you, then you have to take a leap of faith and step into it, because therein may lie your abundance. Because God doesn't He doesn't do coincidences. And some of our gifts and our talents they're stirring in us, and some people don't realize them because they won't step out in faith on realizing those dreams. So Rain in Abundance is really saying, if it's still there, take a leap of faith, but ask God to hold your hands through it, because it's coming from somewhere. It's not just your mind. It's been inputted into your spirit. So step out, and therein may lie your abundance.
Amen. Amen. Now, the other song,
Mm-hmm.
I'm That Woman.
That's my campaign. So I'm That Woman. It's one of the few songs that I wrote, arranged, and co-produced with a dear friend of mine, Gary Digitek. He's the only male on the project. But I wanted to get together some of my sisters in London, Keziah Job, Annette B, Millicent Stevenson on saxophone, just to tell the story from where we stand, not from perfection, but being perfected. Women go through stuff, as do our brothers. You know, I'm not counting them out. And I just wanted us to be a collective that sang about what God has brought us through, that whatever it is we've gone through, God has brought us to this point. And whatever women are going through out there, you know, you don't have to go through it alone. There are sisters that can relate. We're going through the same thing too. But if you come through some stuff, then hashtag I'm that woman.
Okay. Amen. Now, and I'm just, time is passing by so quickly,
Yeah.
but you've been with my brother from another mother, and I'm
Okay.
talking about Landlord. What was it like?
Yes. Do you know what? I feel really bad because you mentioned to me that Dr. Howard also said to me, Landlord has met you. So I don't recall our encounter, but we will be speaking. We will be speaking. So we met at the Marlin Awards in the Bahamas.
Okay.
And I'm really excited and looking forward to speaking with him.
Well, Landlord, Doc, they speak very highly of you. I mean, it's almost like you're higher than Cloud9.
Oh, wow. Thank you. However, so I'm Cloud 10.
Higher. But no, they speak very highly of you. Share with us before we go your social sites.
Okay, so I'm very accessible. I'm toinadekale.com. My website will lead you to everything. Otherwise, Toin Adekale Instagram. So it's instagram.com/Toin Adekale. And that's spelled ToyinAdekale. There's also my Facebook pages. I do have two. So there's Toin Adekale, and then there's Toin Adekale, singer, songwriter, author. Go to both, preferably the latter, because they were both, one of them was full. Twitter, you can find me anywhere.
Anyway, just Google San Antonio global listeners. We're talking to the woman that's on the move. We're talking about Toin.
Go on. I'm not going to let you get away this time. Adekale.
Adekale. Okay, Adekale. Okay. And you're in?
So I'm in Seattle, Washington at the moment.
Okay, Seattle, Washington. Okay. And listen, Senator, those of you that are listening, she is somebody that you want to look up. I mean, she is recognized all around the globe. I know many of us haven't heard about her in the United States, but up north, she's shaking some trees. I really appreciate. Thank you for being our guest on Rhema Gospel Express. We look forward to talking with you a little bit more, because, and also sharing your books, talking more to you about your books. And because that's very interesting. That's very interesting. You've written, you said 5, 6?
Yes, and there's a couple more on the way. So there's a follow-up. There's a book called My Mind Wide Open, Surviving Mental Lockdown. That's a self-help, kind of daily devotional, small bite-sized chapters. So something for everybody.
Okay. And coming up next, right here on Rhema Gospel Express, I'm That Woman.
Yeah. God made me, God gave me, God saved me. I'm that woman. God made me, God gave me, God saved me. I'm that woman. A time in my life I let it break me down, not knowing the strength I had within. Looking for someone to fulfill me, just left me empty. My life no longer shining bright.
Till the word became my daily bread. No longer who I was, now Proverbs 31 says, I am that woman. Yes, I am. Stronger, wiser.
When I was hungry, when I was down, now who told you my value's defined by my hips and my breast? Now I'm much wiser. I had to get this song off my chest. If God could use Rachel, Rebecca, and Ruth, we're made in His image, and that is the truth.
Woman, stand strong. God find creation, know who you are. Thank God for your daily bread.
It's written in His word, Proverbs 31 says, you are that woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. It's your choice. Cry out with your voice and declare it. Name it, claim it. I'm that woman. Yes, I am. Mother, daughter, sister, woman, know your worth.
You give God nurture, a blessing to the earth.
You are that woman. You are a fighter.
You are a
For a
fighter.
reason.
You are a survivor. More than a mother.
Made for a reason. You're that woman.
All aboard the Rhema Gospel Express. All aboard the Rhema Gospel Express. Keep your faith in Jesus. All aboard Jesus. Rhema Gospel Express. Rhema Gospel Express. Rhema Gospel Express. Keep your faith in Jesus. Rhema Gospel Express. Rhema Gospel Express. Rhema Gospel Express. All aboard Rhema Gospel Express. We know we're blessed, walking in spirit, not flesh. Proclaim Jesus to all the nations, letting them know we're throwing down sounds that's good for your soul. We win them souls through lyrical melodic notes. Rhema Gospel Express, hitting coast to coast. Yeah. Hey y'all, what's up? This is your girl Glow, God's love only, and you're listening to Rhema Gospel Express. Stay tuned for more gospel music. Choo choo.
Chugga chugga. Chugga chugga. It's time to get on board the Rhema gospel train with the hardest working gospel jock in South Texas, Elder James Lockhart. Get on board. Spreading the gospel around the world. Get on board. If you want to ride this train, get on board.
It don't take no ticket to ride. Get on board.
If you want to ride this train, get on board.
Get on board and get your praise on.
Bringing to you interviews from upcoming inspirational gospel artists, as well as inspirational speakers and upcoming events in the San Antonio area.
It don't take no ticket to ride.
Get on board the #1 downloaded station in Texas.
It don't take no ticket to ride. The Rhema gospel train.
If you want to ride this train, get on board.
Come on and get your praise on.
With Elder James Lockhart on the Rhema Gospel Express. If you want to ride this train, get on board.
Come on and get your praise on. It don't take no ticket to ride.
If you want to ride this train, get on board. With the hardest working jock in South Texas, spreading the gospel around the globe, Elder James Lockhart. Come on and get your praise on. If you want to ride